In this exercise, let's take what we understand about lists so far and try to think of some things that we could use lists to represent that might be of interest to us. So for example, I might be interested in a list of books that I read this summer, and because order is important to a list, I might look at the order of the list as the order in which I read the books. So the first book, the second book, and so on. Or perhaps I want to take samples of the temperature every hour, and so over a day I'd like a list of, say, the 24 temperatures that are obtained by reading the temperature once each hour. So in the first case, list of books, probably the kind of type I would like to use would be this one, list of string, because each string could represent the name of the book. In the second example, list of temperatures, perhaps here I'd like to use list of double, where each double could represent a given temperature. So for the first part of the exercise, I'd like you to take these four different types you see here, list of color, string, double, and account, and think of examples where a list of such things would be of interest. Remembering that the two things important to a list are, first of all, order is important, and secondly, duplicates are allowed. As another question for this exercise, suppose we spin the roulette wheel a bunch of times, say 100 times, and we'd like to get a list of the results of the roulette wheel. What do you think the type inside list ought to be? So we have list of color, string, double, etc. Can you think of a type that we should put inside the angle brackets for the numbers that show up on the roulette wheel? Then I'd like you to consider what would be useful in terms of a list of booleans. What could such a thing represent? So if you have a list of trues and falses, what might that represent of interest to you? At the end of the exercise, we're going to take a look at the different things we might want to do to a list. So if you had a list in front of you, I'd like you to think about the different things you might do, and I'll talk about all of these things in the solution video for this exercise.